Earthlings and other various species out there in the galaxy, wherever you may be, join us on Earth today for the new episode of the Nerdverse. I am Maoro Zana, and this is my very lovely, seductive co-host,
Edward Stinson, the third.
He's the newest model.
Oh, I try. But today, my good people, we are here to introduce you not only to tabletop gaming, but its very foundations, Dungeons and Dragons.
Admittedly, I don't know that much about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a total newbie, so I'm going to have Edward here tell me a little bit about the history that he's dug up.
Fair enough. I have my little cheat sheet right here, my good people. I did some research a bit earlier, so I could get basically the basics of how D&D really started. So basically, back in the ye olden times, in around 1974, Gary Gygax created Dungeons and Dragons.
Gygax Gaming, epic name.
Indeed. Nowhere else in the world, I swear. I've never heard that anywhere. Anyways, so back in this time, there were a lot of influence really to create a fantasy world, fantasy gaming, things like that. Obviously, Lord of the Rings being a big one, was really the foundations of fantasy worlds. Humans, elves, orcs, dwarves, all that good stuff. This played a large role in really building Dungeons and Dragons.
Really? Because I've heard that Lord of the Rings influencing Dungeons and Dragons was kind of a controversial thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't official that.
Absolutely. They actually had to change some things for that.
One can probably assume that it started from there, though.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
The fantasy realm and all that.
They actually had to change. Halflings to hobbits? The other way around. Sorry, I had to change hobbits to halflings, all that good stuff. They had to change Trents to Ents, these type of things. So there's little things here and there that really have to separate.
I'm sorry, what is a Trent? Isn't Trent, I feel like Trent is like the jock. Is he like some jock dwarf that's like, football and murder?
Trents are actually like the giant living trees.
I was really off. Oh no, they've got tree trunk necks, jocks.
Oh my God,
I was close.
People are going to hate us forever. It's okay. Anyways, moving on.
Boss Man says we must move on.
We
have to please Boss Man.
She's going to destroy us. As I was saying.
Boss Man will smite us. He won't even think about
it. D&D was one of the foundations of modern tabletop gaming. Almost any tabletop game nowadays has some form of root in D&D. Things like races, classes, your alignment, experience points, dungeon masters, people who lead the game. All of these were really created and, founded in Dungeons and Dragons.
Would you say, because you're talking about races and stuff, that it even inspired our MMORPGs?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Most of the MMOs you see today have the basic races, humans, orcs, elves, dwarves, and from there they'll spin off in the other races.
So
they'll have goblins, all those good things.
This is the legitimate origin.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Same way Magic the Gathering, it's a card game.
Yeah.
It was one of the first known card games that's really, competitive card gaming with a story, with fantasy, with all that. Dungeons and Dragons is really one of those founding members of tabletop and role-playing games. Creating your own story.
Oh, this is a brilliant system that they've come up with here. What can you tell me about it? I really don't know anything about it. So how do you, what are the signatures or the roles that
fantastic. Well, actually, my good people, and more. Later on in the show, we're actually going to interview a couple people who are quite well versed in Dungeons and Dragons and all of its intricacies.
We couldn't be your experts, so we brought experts from some other far-off planet, and they are here to help us out.
Exactly. So after the break, we're going to give you a bit more of Dungeons and Dragons, a bit more of its history, and dig into our two people who we're going to be interviewing. They'll give you a bit of an experience that they've had with Dungeons and Dragons, how they started, where they started, why they started. We'll
see you guys soon. Then after the break, fist bump it. If you have a tentacle bump it. We'll see you guys soon.
I do love her.
Hey guys, we're back. We're gonna decide now who's gonna get to go first because me and Edward are a little.
We're a bit competitive. We're sorry.
All right, ready? Wait, no, we have to start on the same. We have to be in time.
Okay, go.
Wait, Boss Man, can you hear me? Boss Man, does this get in the way of the shot?
Does it at all?
It does. Boss Man says he's. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I don't like you. Oh, okay, she's going first.
I won.
Wait,
I
so you
didn't
make
know
me go first.
I was competing.
Does she make me go first? You make me go first, right?
Okay, I'll go first. Our viewers hate us because of you. I just want you to know that.
I love you
Anyway,
guys.
now we're back. I have my two guests here today. They are, some friends of mine that are D&D savvy. They know all about the D&D world and stuff.
Mm.
So they're going to educate us noobs and
I'm not.
what would you call us? A beginnerling?
She's a beginnerling. I have played before.
I'm a beginner linguistic.
You're so young.
Anyway, this is Marcell.
Unrefined.
And this is Priscilla. And they're going to tell us a little bit about the D&D world and how to navigate in it. What do you do in it?
It hurts.
You play the game.
Shut up! Okay, how do you play?
Well, it depends on how, whether you have veteran players or new players. Well, generally you have someone called the Dungeon Master, and Dungeon Master usually...
That sounds kinky.
WRTBITV.com
does not sponsor that sexual message. We are a family company, and I apologize profusely for my language.
This is what happens when you don't know the lingo. Just saying.
Usually they use the words, or the letters DM. And,
DM, nice.
The DM generally knows the games, and...
Oh, of course they do.
Yeah, and they have a rule book. And
they have their rule book, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
so an easier way to start the interview. What got you into Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, well, see what happened was I was minding my own business, watching nerds from afar. And little did I know that they were playing a game that I would like. The way that D&D works is that someone hosts the game, and they're essentially the computer for the game that everyone's playing. They decide the rules, and they're essentially the storyteller.
So they set the world up, the Dungeon Master?
Yes.
Or DM?
Yes. And the way that I started, I was watching these guys play, and I was kind of interested because I do love stories. And so I guess I kind of stalked their session, and it was really interesting. They noticed that I stalked them. They invited me over.
This goes back into what we were talking about last episode. Don't be shy. Nerds are nice. They'll welcome you.
They will.
And
Majority of the time.
they explained the game to me, and it was awesome. So I played the next game with them, the next session.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
So what about you, Priscilla?
Well, most of my friends were really into Dungeons and Dragons or games like that, like Pathfinder. And they were going to host a session, so they asked me if I wanted to join, and I'm like, yeah, because I like role-playing. I role-play besides Dungeons and Dragons, and I've actually LARPed before, which was really fun.
We will have
to do an episode about LARPing later on. If you want to see that, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page. Anyway,
This can happen.
So when they're like, oh, we're going to do it on Friday, so I'm like, okay. So I went, I joined, and it was actually really fun, except character creation takes more than the actual game.
That is the truth.
Really?
It takes really long.
but I heard that it takes around 20 minutes to make a character.
For one character, for lucky.
Oh, right. I forget there's more people.
Yes.
It's not a singular
Usually
game.
you play with a group of people, which actually, that's an important part to remember. It's usually you and a group of people playing.
No, I know that you play with a group. I ignored everybody else's existence in my mind for a second.
It actually takes 20 minutes if the person's cooperative.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So how many people usually play in a game? As many as you want?
Between 2 and 6 is a good number.
Okay. And if I wanted to play, could you help me out a little bit? Because I do want to know about it, but I just don't know anything about it.
So. Yeah, how would you really get someone new into it? When would be the best time to really get into it? Is there an age limit or anything?
No, there's no age limit. Anyone can play.
Not a toddler.
The toddler would probably just cry.
Yeah, so you should probably be age enough to realize what you're doing.
You need a certain age where someone can accept that their character would lose in an open-ended, based game. And sometimes even 30-year-olds can accept that. So you just need a maturity level.
So it's not so much an age limit, just not an idiot limit.
Yeah.
Right.
How much would you say it costs to really get into Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, that's actually the best question you could have asked because it costs 0 to get into D&D.
It costs 0 if you're not the one buying the expansions.
Actually,
that's great because I have no money anyway. That's great.
Actually, it costs 0 because the main rule book and the monsters and all that stuff is on their website, and it's all free for download. And you don't actually need to buy anything.
Yeah, there's a PDF, right?
Yeah.
I've heard about the PDF.
Oh, you rebel, you.
Is it a rebel? I thought it was internet
No,
savvy.
you're just a special person. It's okay. We don't really talk.
And the only thing that you have to purchase is if you have little to no creativity. They already have campaigns ready for you, and there's no shame in buying it.
No, there's not. Like, they're excellent campaigns. I remember I was reading one. I wish I could remember. It was years ago. It was when I first got into it. But it was a story about just goblins attacking the village. You know, it's very simple, but hey, it gets you into it.
Wait, back it up a bit. Is a campaign like a prompt?
Actually,
Like a subject?
Essentially, yes. The campaign is really the overarching theme, idea, and purpose of the story that is occurring now. So, let's say the campaign was just protect the village.
So it's a prompt.
Pretty much. You
Like
walk
goblins
in,
are
have
under
a group.
attack. See what you do.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's up to the DM to create the story. You and the other 5 people are just people in the world. Dungeon Master says, this can happen, this can't happen. You should do that. You shouldn't do that. Then you guys go.
Why is he being such a jerk?
Because that's his job role, and that's what he does.
Okay.
Actually, your experience will heavily depend on your DM because let's say that there is the generic DM that plays by the rules.
Yeah.
So the DM will see the paper and say, okay, you guys instantly met each other and defend the village right now. So the battle would begin, and that would be the campaign. A more skilled DM would do things like, okay, you guys all met at the bar, and you saw this bounty posted for killing the leader of the goblins. So you would have an interaction between the characters, you'd have them interacting with NPCs or non-playable characters that the DM created, and it would create a story for you guys to interact with one another before you actually play the game.
So what I'm getting so far is that it's all just imaginative. So then what is the dice? What are the dice for?
Well, D&D is a game that's one part imaginative, one part mathematic. And so...
Oh my god.
yeah, it's simple math, addition and subtraction. So we can
I've
all do
already
that.
lost.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
One of the main things I remember hearing about, it's a game that is structured yet open world.
Well, here's the example. The DM is basically god of the world. And so the structured portion of the game would be, let's say that you are an archer and you want to shoot a goblin with your arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to kill a goblin.
Yeah, I do.
So-
hyped. Oh my god.
I'm ready.
You would roll the d20, which is the 2-hit dice. It decides whether you hit them or you do not.
How do you know what the D is?
The d20 is, the dice, and then the size of the dice is the number. So it's a 20-sided dice. It's the most nerdy dice you can possibly see. You ever see one that guy is a nerd or girl?
Wait, why is it called a D then?
The D means
Dice.
dice.
Oh.
20
It's
sided
D,
dice.
and then the number tells you how many sides are on it. So like this is a D20.
Oh yeah, we actually have the D12 here and
D12, like
D4.
Eminem's band.
Yeah, that's Eminem's band.
Okay.
This is Eminem's band.
That's why it's white.
Oh snap!
It hurts so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Priscilla Dominguez, sassiest person on the show.
There's also a d6, which is your normal 6-sided die that we're all used to.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then dice get crazy. Like there's a D100, but usually don't use it in Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons.
that's-
like the biggest you'll usually use is a D20.
If your dungeon master's a douchebag, he will have a d100.
D100.
Well,
And then
since we're
it's harder
talking
to
about
roll.
that,
It's harder to roll than like you say. You need a D like 20 to do this. Then it's like
Well,
really. I
yeah,
don't
the
know.
bigger the number, the bigger the
harder.
probabilities and all
Right.
that good stuff.
So then that's why he's a jerk, because the chances of you
Well,
rolling
the
are
100
1 in
is just
100.
for like specific rules. Like let's say you guys play a 10-session game. You probably won't even need a d100 for the session. He just wants to show you that he has this dice. Because the specific situation won't come up for the dice.
Right.
The d20 is the most used dice. It's used for every 2 hits, everything that you attempt to hit or to do. The reason that most people love Dungeons and Dragons is because there are 2 things about the d20 that separate it from everything else. Yeah, so the d20 has 2 numbers on it that represent extreme options. There's the 1, which is an extreme failure, and the 20, which is an extreme success. And here's an example. Let's say you try to push an orc off of a
Boulder?
bridge. Off of a bridge.
Bridge.
Boulder. Why would
Boulder?
Get off my boulder.
Get off my boulder.
That's a nice boulder.
Okay.
Boulder. Boulder it is. Boulder Bridge.
Your boulder.
Yes.
Boulder
So-
Bridge.
So let's say that Maor wanted to push an orc off of her boulder, and she rolled the dice, and a 1 came out. So the DM would look at the dice, look at Maor,
He'd
and
then
say,
laugh.
"So you snuck up to the orc, You raised your hands in participation, and you gave him a gentle back massage.
Why? That's
Because
not what I wanted at all.
You failed. That's how
It's a
miserably you
critical
failed.
failure.
I don't like this.
Should have rolled a 1. Your hands were just terrible luck. I'm
And
sorry.
so that's what causes, the most camaraderie and joy out of the D&D game. Everyone starts laughing, pointing fingers at more.
Oh, and then I become the butt of the joke.
Yeah, for that specific moment.
I don't need to play D&D for that to happen.
Or on the opposite side, there's the critical successes, where you become the hero of the group. So let's say that the same situation happens. There's an orc on your boulder. You want to
Right.
get this orc off your boulder. So you sneak up to the orc, and you raise your hands in anticipation, because you rolled a 20. And the DM says, okay, so what happened was, you raised your hands, and the god of boulders imbued your hands with such power that you went to push the orc off. Your hands went straight through his back and out through his chest. And you held his heart out for the party to see.
So yes,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true dungeon master
he
here.
pulled a Mortal Kombat, essentially, people. He pulled a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Fatality.
I like that a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes pulling out 20s.
Yeah, man. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, from my wallet, from the dice.
Oh, yeah.
It's all great.
That's what the D100's for.
So, so when you're playing these games, now, I've heard some rumors of people who get a bit more involved in the game besides just playing it. People who might dress up and play the game, who really immerse themselves in it.
Like the LARPing. No?
If I remember correctly, there's a bit of a difference between the two. But we'll let our guest here
Yeah, tell
explain
us
the
about
difference.
it.
What is the difference here?
Well, LARPing is a lot like D&D, except you're actually like doing the actions and you're moving around. You usually go into an area that would mostly like fit the setting. So say like you were in a forest area, you'll go to an actual forest or a place with a lot of trees. And there the dungeon master will follow you guys around because you guys are the party, so you guys are moving about. But in D&D, you guys are usually sitting at a table and the setting would be a piece of paper. And there's grids because your character's only allotted a certain amount of moves. So like you'll have to imagine the scenery and everything in your heads. And the dungeon master usually is generous, so they explain where you guys are at instead of just kind of like you guys are
Following you.
Yeah.
The way you explained it for LARPing is like, I just imagine like the bald guy from The Princess Bride following you around like, you cannot do this in the forest. Like, that's just what I imagine. Is that
that's what it's like. Yeah.
Oh my god. So D&D sounds a little more appealing in that aspect.
Yeah, but you can dress up. Like, dressing up doesn't really... You actually might get bonuses for dressing up because your dungeon master could reward you for staying in character. Staying in character is one of the hardest things to do for new people. Like, that was something I had a lot of trouble with. But for other people that are veteran players, like, they go instantly into the character.
They know it,
yeah, they'll come in, like, with helmets, or if they're an elf, they'll buy fake elf ear prosthetics, they'll put them on, they'll, like, kind of sit
Nice.
tall and act snooty.
Nice.
Oh, yes, oh, yes. I always think it's really great that people can immerse themselves in it. I mean, from the outside looking in, it might look weird, but, dude, when you're in it, like, it's you and a group of your friends, like, having literally the most amount of fun. It's you guys acting out in fantasy adventure in the way that you wish it could go.
Right.
How fun is that?
Well, a lot of times your personal drama can translate into the game.
Oh no.
Like, that's why you usually pick the most neutral person. Like, whoever has the least amount of drama in your group should be the DM. Because the DM will take it out on you if they have something against you in real life.
This is true.
Well, I've seen GM scenarios where the DM would skew the numbers. Let's say the wolf hits for 5. Whenever that person got attacked, the wolf would just destroy them,
And 15 critical hits.
Yeah, and
Your head falls off.
It just happened to be the one demon wolf of the entire game.
Or if you guys are roommates and you're like, oh, let's play D&D. Be really careful if you guys live together. Or you're dating and you want to play because...
Don't ruin it.
Say, like, you are mad at them in your, like, personal life, you might take it out on their character. Or if their character accidentally rolls a 1 and kills your follower or your dog or something, you're gonna be like, okay, I see how it is. Like,
I see.
Let's see if the rent's on time, like next month or something.
Oh snap.
I was actually DMing for a group of people, and what happened was it was one of the most difficult DMing experience I've ever had to do. At the beginning of the campaign, they set out and they said to me, I want to kill X. I want to kill this person's character, the one that they spent hours creating the character sheet for. And so, as a DM, I do allow the people to do whatever they want because it is an open world. And it was interesting to watch them actually defend one another from killing each other. And the drama would come out, outside of it. They would call each other by their real names, like, hey, why are you acting that way? This is just a game. Why would you do that? And it's just a really interesting
Hey,
experience.
it gets intense,
shut up,
man.
Jimmy. I'm not Jimmy. I'm Igor Falcon the Third. Like,
Yeah.
Or for calling me Jimmy, my character begins to fight you.
Yeah. I think that's one of the funnier things about it, where you make a character, other person makes a character, and you guys just have a gladiator ring right there. You just go ham. You guys are just fighting it out, but guys, the village is burning down over there. No, sir, we have to handle this first.
Or it'll happen in the worst situations. Let's say like you guys are all fighting a dragon, and it is fighting you back, and the healer will just say, I don't feel like healing you.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? The character doesn't feel like doing it.
You can attack the healer and get hit by the dragon, or you can run or continue fighting the dragon. It's your choice.
There's also
brutal
a lot
game,
of
people.
loot fights.
brutal
Oh my
game.
gosh, yes.
So loot is when you defeat the main boss of a dungeon, and then there so happens to be a chest behind them because that's why they're in the dungeon in the first place. They're protecting their treasure. The treasure is called loot. And you usually divide it amongst your party if your party members are very generous. Or you can have somebody who's like, I like everything here and I don't want to share. I'm going to fight you all. You usually do not fight your entire party because outside of the game, people try to make the party balanced. Like they'll have a healer, they'll have somebody that will be the tank, they'll have DPS people on the front.
Okay, let's explain the roles actually. This is
I'm actually really lost
Well,
right now.
before we get into all that, we'll probably do that later when Mora's pretty interested in the game. She'll probably want to create a character later.
I definitely want to create a character.
Okay.
But before we get into all that, let's finish up with the other interview questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, we're pretty much done. You guys explained a lot. I can't lie. You guys explained so much that you actually really helped anyone get a full grasp of the game.
It's got a very broad history, actually.
No,
do
absolutely.
you think it's gonna continue on in the
Yeah.
next few years, or will it is it fad?
Yeah, there's a lot of competition nowadays. There's Warhammer. There's one game Exalted. Warhammer 40K. A War Machine. There's a lot of tabletop games coming out. With all the competition, do you really think that D&D will really last for the next few generations?
Yeah, I think so. Like people that play D&D might have kids, so they might get their kids into it, or like it's a very social game.
Might have kids.
Might have.
You might. If you can survive the drama, you'll have.
Hey,
If you roll high enough, you'll have kids.
we will have kids. Okay, it may work out. We'll see.
But it's too popular to just die. Like people love them. Like people thought comics wouldn't continue because people are like on the internet, but people still go out and buy them. So of course D&D's not.
Yeah, they like the novelty of having it. I feel like it's kind of the same with like Magic the Gathering. I mean, it's been around for so long. It really was like the first really competitive card game where it was like, yo, guys, I'm going out there because I need to find this card. I need to find this. I need to find that. So I feel like that it's really going to last a while.
Yeah, I mean, the only limit on D&D is your imagination.
Excellent. So then I'm gonna roll this, and I rolled a 1.
Jesus.
So let's create a character.
Critical fail.
With the one.
More dies in the process of making her
Actually,
character.
yes. So we just cancel that whole process out.
I didn't really roll. It was like it was a refreshing warm-up roll.
It was a 1.
So, no.
Like I said,
Valid.
it was such a critical failure. The next dice also
It
failed.
was. This one is a 14, a 1 and a 4. So okay, come on. I want. What do I want? I want an elf
Okay.
who steals stuff.
Okay, so the race would be elf, so that's really easy to make.
What
And,
class is a stealer?
So
A robber.
Stealing.
a robber is a rogue. But, rogues are one of the more interesting characters in your party because you have someone who is a thief who is teaming up with people who are not thieves. So you see a lot of drama happen between those two characters.
So I'm the Mac Daddy. I bring in the money. Right? Am I not? Am I missing something here?
It's that's the issue
and
with rogues.
I want this to be my weapon. This thing here.
Okay.
Yeah. I can be like, give me your money and stuff.
WR.
So then we did what Maura said, so she wouldn't kill anybody.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh.
the way making a character works is you roll a series of dice to find out
Right.
your stats numbers.
Okay. I'm gonna get a smaller die so that I can not roll a 1.
No,
you
actually,
I
you
don't
actually
think-
pick up the 6-sided dice.
Oh. Okay.
Which we actually don't have a 6-sided dice here.
We have like 700 dice.
With no number 6s. So
then I'll just take this one. Then this is a 20.
Yes.
yeah, so we'll just roll the 20.
And then if I get a high enough number, I can keep the sword and kill somebody, right?
Yes, and
Cool. Come on, Mama needs a new
What you
pair of
see with-
shoes.
we'll see with new
roll.
characters generally.
She rolled a 1 again, people. All right.
And you can't lie, this one's only.
You
How
just,
are you?
I don't even understand.
I don't think I'm meant to play this game.
I don't think so.
What
actually.
else can I get? What else can I do to pimp out my character? So I'm an elf. I'm a rogue.
So you pick your alignment, which is one of the more fun things to pick. So
Left.
It doesn't work that way. You see, there's good, there's evil, and there's neutral.
Okay, I want evil.
Oh, you want to be evil?
Very well.
So your party already hates you.
Oh, never
That's fine.
mind.
That's fine. You have to role play your character, which means you must act evil now for the remainder of the game, because that is your alignment.
Perfect.
Okay, so then you have: are you lawfully evil?
I'm English.
Are you neutrally evil? Or are you chaotically evil?
Lawfully evil.
So
That's
you,
Australian. Lawfully evil.
you're an Australian elf who is a rogue, who is lawfully evil.
No, not Australian. Irish? No. English. I want to
This
be
girl.
English.
This poor girl. This poor girl.
WRPBITV.com does not sponsor my horrible accent.
So essentially, with that alignment, she would have to attempt to kill almost anybody who was of the good nature.
Yeah.
Even though they're in my party and we're on the same
Yes.
mission?
Yes. So you generally try to pick with your party, unless they're all evil. Unless you have an evil party,
Actually, yeah.
and you can't be a bad guy in D&D. It's very popular.
And
to
you
do
can
that.
succeed if the
You-
luck's on
yeah,
your
you
side?
can do
You
quite a
can
lot.
succeed as long as you
You can
play
kill
well.
your whole party by the end of this game, and
And
that
then I
happens a
win.
lot. Like they'll consider the game to be done, and then everybody just kind of duels each other.
But then can you just say like, can't the DM just be like, haha, everyone comes back with a phoenix down?
Yes, but the DM generally tries to make the game
Fair?
fair or realistic in
Right.
the most D&D setting possible.
Awesome then. Yeah. I think this was a really good talk. I learned a lot and I even made a little character. So I'll probably end up making a new character if I ever play again that doesn't give me all ones. Priscilla, what are you doing there?
Oh, I was drawing your character,
Oh,
She drew my character.
she draws.
the bust of your character.
Oh my
Go on, show the
god.
camera.
Can you
Okay. Fair enough.
I dig it. Who needs hair when you're evil? No, but I would go with a pixie cut, honestly. If I'm gonna be killing everybody, I can't get blood in my hair.
And
good.
people could pull your hair.
Yeah.
That is logic, which D&D is full of. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. It was really informative having you here, and I feel like I learned a lot. And did you?
Yes, actually.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so
No,
much,
thanks for having
guys.
you guys, man. Much appreciated.
All right, so catch us next week. I think next week the lineup is Smash.
Yes.
All right, so catch us next week on the next episode of Nerdverse. We can't wait to see you guys. We will see you again soon. I'm Moa Rosanna.
I'm Edward Jameson III.
I'm Priscilla.
Marcel.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you later.